Hey, Rotten Bacon Butts. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up that the audio for the first little chunk of this on my end, just me, got a little wacky because my mic did something. I couldn't figure out what was going on with my mic, and then it turns out I didn't have it plugged in all the way. It was very hard to cut out the first chunk because we're introducing ourselves, the manga, chatting, all that sort of thing. So just for your information, the first 3 minutes, there's a little wacky on my end. I tried to adjust it in Premiere. We'll see how it works. So please enjoy Komi Can't Communicate chapters 1 through 47.5. Hello.
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 So swappy. Hello. Happy morning. If you're in our time zone, if you're in Dodger's time zone, happy afternoon. I'm Erin.
I'm Dodger.
And I'm Moeka.
And I'm Lou. We're MangaPod. We're a podcast which we get together after we read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss with friendship, love, lots and lots of spoilers. This week we are talking. Oh, I'm super loud. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Is she super loud, or is she just super excited for Komi Can't Communicate?
I do a little.
Be honest.
It's really hard to tell the difference with me. There you go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I was fine in the sound check, so I don't know what happened. I might have been too close to my mic compared with speaking really loud.
It's all good. Don't let them ruin your flow, Erin. Get back in there. Get back in there. Oh no. Not what I meant.
There was genuine fear in your eyes.
It's like
this week we are talking Komi Can't Communicate one shot through chapters 1 through 47.5 through.
Or volumes 1 through 3.
Or volumes 1 through 3, which I didn't have room to fit on the overlay, so it's not there. But if you're listening to this on Spotify, we also did volumes 1 through 3, so you know. If you never joined us for a manga pod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the manga that we read, aka summary, as well as our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should spend time going to read this manga or not. That way, if it sounds like something you're interested in, you can take your leave before we get to spoiler section, go read it, come back and watch the VOD of this on YouTube, or listen to it on Spotify or iTunes, or Google Play, I guess. It's showing up on a lot of different audio streaming sites.
Yeah.
Or tell your Alexa to play us, and she'll just choose one, you know. Yes.
Anyway, I don't know why that was really funny to me.
So, we're gonna do a summary, and then we're all gonna go one at a time and tell you, in a spoiler-free way, whether or not we enjoyed this manga and would recommend it. So, I'm gonna be reading the summary today for Komi Can't Communicate. The journey to 100 friends begins with a single conversation. Socially anxious high school student Shoko Komi's greatest dream is to make some friends, but everyone at school mistakes her crippling social anxiety for cool, reserved. With the whole student body keeping their distance and Komi unable to utter a single word, friendship might be forever beyond her reach. Timid Tadano is a total wallflower, and that's the way he likes it. But all that changes when he finds himself alone in a classroom on the first day of high school with the legendary Komi. He quickly realizes she isn't aloof, she's just super awkward. And now he's made it his mission to help her on her quest to help make 100 friends.
Oh, my heart. Now that I've read it, my heart.
I know, dude. Yeah. So, now we can't hear Erin at all.
Am I back?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
hello.
Hi.
Is this any better?
Yes. On our end, yes.
Yeah, you're fine. I don't get why. Yeah, it's not pulling. It's pulling from this mic, so I don't know why it's coming off. Lots better.
Yeah, much better.
Cool.
Yay!
Yeah, it was weird because it whatever it was doing before, it like lowered your voice by like a semitone, so it sounded like you were sick. It's that I assumed you were sick.
That is
too.
true, actually. Her voice was deeper than usual. I thought that maybe she was just congested.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
which
this
means
better?
that since you turned it down previously, you might have to turn it up a little bit.
Okay. Is this better?
Interesting.
That is funny that none of you
I
asked
know.
if I was sick. Thanks.
Sorry, I just assumed.
You know, we're all
Wow.
sick occasionally.
Didn't even care enough about my well-being.
We cared enough to notice.
Yeah.
It could have been allergies, Erin.
Okay. Does this sound better just before keep going?
Yeah,
Okay.
testing.
Yeah, test.
Test.
Hi, this is Erin, a happily Erin, and this is my sound check. Boop a boop.
This is literally what we do.
Yeah,
before we start talking
Yeah.
about-
Okay, cool. Better.
Yay.
Amazing. Great.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Spoiler free.
So that is
perfect.
yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're good.
Yeah, that was the summary. As many of you have established in chat, it sounds super wholesome, but is it super wholesome? We're gonna go one at a time and tell you, spoiler free again, whether or not we think you should take the time to read this manga or not, and then we will go into spoiler section. So gird your loins. Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
I really loved this manga. It was so sweet. It was spoiler alert, very wholesome. Very cute. It was one of the comedy manga in recent memory that I really, really liked and didn't feel repetitive personally. And it's a very fast read too. It's very quick. The chapters are very short. So it's really quick. So I recommend going and checking it out. It doesn't take very long to read, and I think you'll definitely get something enjoyable out of it.
Yeah, I think there are definitely a couple of moments in it that are not wholesome. But,
That's true.
But overall, like the premise of it and the sincerity of the characters is very sweet. The side characters, of which, you know, just hearing that the story is going to be about her trying to make 100 friends, you know, there's going to be a bunch of characters that you meet. They're going to be tropes that you've seen before, but like you just really wind up rooting for Komi as a character. And I did really enjoy it, and Erin is right. It's so fast. You blast through it. So yeah, I would recommend it for something sweet to read.
Yeah, it's so wholesome. I went in I'll talk about it later. But yeah, it's very wholesome. I like the characters. I kind of was like, I don't know if, at the beginning I was like, I don't know if I'll like this. And then it was like, oh my god, I love this. So pretty much everything you guys said already.
Yeah.
I did want to add too is that it does, I personally think, a very good job about talking about anxiety, especially when it comes to meeting new people. And it doesn't make it the butt of a joke, even though it seems like it could. And I thought it was a very well done representation of it, especially for a comedy manga. So that's something we'll get into more too. But that is something I wanted to touch on, that you could find something. If you have anxiety, you might be able to find Komi very relatable. Yeah. So I love her. Okay. Spoiler section.
Right. Spoiler section. And once we get into spoiler section, please don't spoil anything past volume 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Komi is God because the class decided it.
She's literally the goddess.
Komi literally decided that her title is God.
Oh, so okay. let's start with the question that we typically start with once we do a manga pod after we've read a series. What were you guys expecting before reading this manga?
I didn't expect it to have as much. I didn't think that it was going to be as jokey as it was. Like I thought that it was going to be more like slice of lifey, like lots of chapters that were just like sweet, gentle chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every chapter is a goof of some sort. So I was pleasantly surprised that it was a lot punchier than I expected it to be, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this got recommended to me a lot in
Mhm.
like the last year and a half or so. And so I was thinking that it was gonna be like some sort of like, oh, she's like literally a god, like Haruhi Suzumiya style, but like the caveat is that she's like overpowered but can't talk. And then it's gonna be like this dude trying to like get her to talk, and then him finding out that she's like a super being of some sort. And then it'll be just like super slice of lifey, but yeah, I really, yeah, I wasn't expecting the comedy of it, which I really ended up liking, and it
Mhm.
helped like endear me to a lot of the characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I thought.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I was really happily surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was expecting it to be slice of life, more slice of life than it was too, and I did not realize the chapters were so short. So once I started to realize that it was gonna be more comedy, I loved pretty quickly the fact that it was shorter chapters. Yeah, I was expecting slice of lifey too. And for Komi to not be as humanized, if that makes sense, because a lot of times, especially when you see like cover photos, like we see like her, this is making sense in my brain, it'll come out, I promise. So there's a lot of times when characters are drawn the way that Komi is drawn, where she's like very ethereal and like gorgeous and just like a pretty picture, where you kind of get an impression about it's going to be a little bit more on the ecchi side. And so I definitely thought when I was looking at the promo and the cover photo, I was like, it's gonna got some ecchi. It's gonna be some panty shots and some like zoom ins on boobs like constantly. And it turned out I was pleasantly surprised that it was like so much not that for the most part. And that was something I appreciated as we got further, as like it
Also,
continued.
Speaking of like how she's drawn and how it's meant to be kind of subversive, I expected her to be much more like tsundere tropey, which she is not whatsoever. Like is literally the opposite, like desperate to connect with people.
Yeah.
But I think that's the point, right? Is that like all of these other people in her life expect her to be that way, and she's not. So I was happy that we didn't have the like, that it wasn't she can't communicate and so she's very standoffish. It's that that's how she's perceived, but that like we get so many snapshots of like how she's really feeling. And I like that Tadano like establishes himself from the beginning as somebody who like he keeps being like, I don't know, I'm just really normal and I have a nervous stomach. I don't know what to tell you, but like he can read her better than anybody else can. And so what is their name? Nakiri? The like gender fluid character.
Oh,
Nagiri?
yeah.
I think it's Nagiri.
Yeah, Nagiri.
I love that they like cannot read Komi at all, and there's so many gags in there where it's like, where is Tadano? I don't know what Komi is thinking. Like I am floundering here. Najimi.
They're literally just there trying to be like, okay, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to figure you out. Especially, and like we can talk more about when we get to like his character or their character of having so many friends and then having that one that they can't understand. And so they're just like, I don't know how to handle you. Like, I do not know what to do.
Yeah, I like that. Sorry, Moeka, I think you were trying to say something.
Oh, yeah. No, my cat is. Somebody in chat was like, cat guarding door. And my cat's like, please let me out. Please let me out. Please let me out.
The opposite. Oh, what a protective cat. And the cat's actually like, I don't want to be here.
I need to leave now. Yeah, the other thing that I enjoyed them establishing early on is like Komi has decided or has the desire to make friends in a school situation where the school that they're in, just like by virtue of how people apply for it, winds up with a bunch of really eccentric weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
And so by establishing that really early, every time you meet somebody and you're like, this person is a fucking weirdo, you're like, well, they told me that, like, I can't be mad, right?
I knew this was gonna happen. It does set it up that to keep introducing new kinds of characters, and it gives it a liberty to have all sorts of different characters. And so it makes me wonder, what is the next eccentric character we're gonna go?
Yeah.
That's another thing that with having all those eccentric, like, it could very easily, especially in a manga that's like this, where you're kind of getting a big cast together all centered around one girl, where it's like, all right, we're gonna get the tsundere, the yandere, this, like, every single stereotypic trope. And even when you have that, it's not exactly cookie cutter what it usually is. Like, there's still some kind of eccentric thing in there that takes it a step further.
Yeah.
Playing on those tropes.
The only situation where I was like, fuck no, was,
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
when the yandere girl was like, I'm sorry that I kidnapped you.
And put you
I'm
in the
sorry.
closet.
Can we be friends? And they were all like, all right. I was like, no. No, we cannot be friends. I thought that was going to be a moment for Komi to be like, okay, not everybody can be my friend, right? Like, and we had her leaving this girl's room being like, you don't get to decide who my friends are, I do, right? And like standing up for herself, which up until that point, she had always been so overly polite, even when somebody was like really aggressive. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a good growth moment for her to be like, no, I'm not so desperate for friends that I'm gonna be friends with a psychopath who like tried to kill my first friend ever, right? Like, that's not happening. And then literally next day in school, she's like, oh, I didn't mean to, I got carried away. It's just like, I hate this. I hate this. She sucks.
And she, like, I am happy that she isn't in like every single chapter. And when she is there,
she's not like a main friend.
Yeah, which I think could have so easily been overplayed. And so I'm glad that she isn't in every single one. And then also when she's there, there's never an like endorsing of her behavior. It's always the guy being like, Tonon being like, I don't think
they also that's true. They also never invite her to anything.
No.
She's just enough of a stalker that she shows up everywhere. Like, if she shows up, they're like, why did you come here? Oh,
because you were
probably listening
outside her window for 8 days straight in the summer heat.
Yeah.
To kind of like focus in on Komi, I love that, like, I was kind of bringing up how she has anxiety and it's a realistic show of anxiety. Just everything she does, like not being able to talk to people, really wanting to get out there, the way that they will show her internal thoughts of like when she was working the part-time job and had to pass out the Kleenexes, the idea where she's like, I have to willingly, like, I have to put myself out there. And then it just brings on more anxiety because you're like, how do I even start this conversation? Like, how do I do it? And it's just like strangers, you're not going to talk to them again. But still there's this very heavy like rock on your chest as you're trying to build up the courage. And then that leads to being anxious about the fact that you can't build up the courage. And then that leads to the anxiety over all of that together. And so I think they did a really good job showing just like displaying that,
the cycle
that
kind
be,
of
the cycle, because it could be very hard to explain that, and they show it very well with her. And I think because of how simple the story is and the storytelling, I think it was very easy for them to be like, here, this is it, don't need big fancy words to describe what it is. And
we
then,
also
no, go ahead.
All I was gonna say was we also had that chapter with her trying to fall asleep and like replaying the events of the day in her head where she thought she had messed up, which we've all done. Like that is so relatable. And I loved that the moment that like helped her calm down was Tadano like deflecting something that he could tell made her uncomfortable and like establishing like, oh man, I've totally done that before, you know, and making her feel less weird or like it was like a big mistake. Because that absolutely works when somebody realizes that you're uncomfortable. Like having them connect with you can make all the difference.
And Tadano is just so great, wholesome, love him, best boy. He's really good at not forcing her to deal with her anxiety. Like he helps her like along little ways, but he never like pushes her and is like, all right, listen, step up. Like you got to get over this. He never does that at all. And it's just so, I love him for that. I love him
too. The cell phone, when she was like, I'm gonna go ask for their phone numbers myself, and he was like, I'm rooting for you, and like won't help her, so he's like hiding behind the chair like, you can do it, you can do it. But like you realize it's more complex than her just being like, hey, can I have your phone number? It's, I secretly want Tadano's number to be the first number in my phone, so can you please write it down separately? Like everybody being like, what is going on? This is so complicated. It's like so cute. It's so cute. Those moments.
Love it. Moeka, what are your thoughts on Komi?
She's so sweet, and I'm rooting for her. I want her to get her 100 friends. I love Tadano. He's also really sweet, and then just like naturally knows like how Komi's feeling. I love that. But when they went to buy like her clothing, it was just so funny to me that everybody was like, the Yandere girl was like doing like the super gal style because that's her thing, and then it was just like everybody else was like basing it off like what they like,
their idealized versions of her.
So I really like that Tadano's like, no, like she's like a little sun dress type of girl. She's cute. Oh, my heart.
So sweet.
So it's just too sweet. Yeah, I love the interactions between like Tadano and Komi. And like and we're getting to the point where I'm like, it feels like she's like getting a crush on him because he's like being so helpful.
For
and
sure.
I'm just like, oh.
And he keeps being like, oh, we're totally incompatible. Like, no, that it would never happen. We're just like, I'm just like trying to help her and like blah, blah, blah. But we know because we get inside of his head so often that he's like, I love her.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
And you have like two different ways of dealing with the crush, like slowly getting a crush on somebody. Like his brain is like, okay, I am like slowly having feelings for her. And then she doesn't know what those kind of feelings are. So they keep coming out in these really like wholesome ways. Like her trying to say when they're at the festival, her writing down, I'm glad it was just, I loved when it was just us two. And then immediately be like, no, I can't do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so innocent. It's like so first crushy and cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
This is the only kind of spoiler that I will abide. Joe Tripp in chat said the manga only gets sweeter. Prepare for diabetes. I'm okay with that spoiler.
I'm okay with
Me
that.
too.
I'm okay with that.
How?
How does it get impossible? How did you guys feel about meeting Komi's family?
Oh my gosh, I loved her family. What's going on with
loved
her
her
brother?
family.
What is happening with her
What is
brother?
going on with her brother? I need to know too.
Yeah.
The big one.
Her brother, I was just like, oh, I need to know what's going on with him. How is he? Is he shy and
How
quiet?
is he?
Because I was when we met her mom, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a thing where Komi's like her dad and then her brother's like her mom. But not the case, as we saw when they like traveled to the grandmother's house. Like her brother's just like doesn't even have a face. Like
He's like a slink in the shadows sort of dude, I think.
Yes. And so I'm very interested to find out what he's like, what's going on with him. But I loved the daddy-daughter section. Like the chapters.
Yeah.
He
That was
wants
so sweet.
the way that they have like different anxiety. Like they're able to like communicate, but then there's also the fact that the dad isn't completely able to communicate, where he's like, I just want to ask her how she's been, and Komi's like, I just want my shaved ice, and the dad's like, how do I ask her how school is? And then you just get the simple little moments from them, and I was like, this is so simple and pure.
Goofed him. She goofed him too. He like finally got the gumption to be like, how's school? And she made a face like it was terrible, and he was like, no.
Oh no, my daughter, don't like this.
my poor sweet girl. Yeah, I also liked meeting the grandmother and her realizing just from like the small change in Komi's face that like she was really happy and had made friends, and how like proud of her she was. I was like, this whole family's like obviously very invested, because like this woman has had 2 sons who also have troubles like connecting with people. So I think that like it was really sweet having her be like, oh, you're making friends. That's so great. You know, like I'm so happy for you, like legitimately.
Pure
I do
family.
like that when she saw Tadano's name like in the phone, she was just like, give me the phone. I'm going through your text messages and like figuring out who the hell this boy is.
His
Is he
name
good enough
sucks.
for my
I don't approve.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, grandma.
Oh, grandma. So
Grandma.
sweet.
Yeah. We also had the librarian girl.
I was gonna
who
bring her up.
turned into a weird masochistic character. I don't really give a shit about her.
No. When she's not there, I don't think about her. When she's there, I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah.
So bad.
Well, I thought it's weird because it's not like with all of the friends so far, they've been very upfront. Like Komi is trying to make friends and has never been able to make friends, and like has trouble talking with people. You know, do you want to like help her like establish a relationship and like help her grow? Like they're really upfront about that when she wants to connect with somebody. And the fact that like there's this one character who like joined the group really early on who's like, I'm your dog, do anything you want to me. You want to hit me, that's fine. I'm just like, why? What? You're missing it. You're missing the point of everything that's going on here.
Yes. She was a bizarre character.
Yeah, Gari was just like, okay.
Because I had high hopes because the first 2 friends, right, were a expert communicator, like somebody who is almost too good at it. And then Tadano, who is pretty normal, but connects with her really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, okay, now we're going to incorporate this character who also is very nervous about things, right? And maybe you guys can sync up that way and help each other. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
Mhm.
They can like grow together, right?
Mhm.
That is not what happened.
No. Yeah, because it was Tadano, maybe her, and then was it Yandere? Yandere girl next?
Yandere was
I think
next.
so,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. Oh, Yandere girl.
I know during the festival, they established that like some of the guys that were around were now on her list of friends, but we've only explored other female characters, haven't we? Aside from Tadano.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, who are these guys?
Yeah, they just appeared.
They showed up for the pool episode and were just like, yeah, nice swimsuits. And that's like all they've fucking done.
Yeah.
They were just like 10 out of 10. Just like there. I was like, where did you come from? I don't
Who are
understand.
you? When did we learn about you?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
do
true. Najimi is gender fluid. So that is
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
A fair assessment.
I love Najim. Let's talk about them.
Me too.
I love them.
Najimi, because the very first time that you meet them, Tadano's like, wait, weren't you a guy in middle school and now you're a girl? And they're like, who's to say, right?
Yes.
I was really worried that was going to wind up being like, that we were going to run into some weird like transphobic jokes in the story. And it literally, everybody is like, that's them. That's who they are. It's not a big deal. They just do their thing. They have a million friends. They're awesome. And that's it. And I was very delighted.
I was thinking that too, especially like after the pool episode too. Like when I got there, I was like, oh man, just waiting for those jokes to come in, and they never did. And I loved that in the translation that I was reading, they always do she/he or he/she. They always have like the pronouns there. And so I really appreciated that, and the fact that there's never like, no, you're actually a boy, you're just pretending to be a girl. Like it's just like, nope, they're who they are, and everyone is chill with it like they should be. And I just love, especially in a comedy manga, in a gag comic.
Yes,
just,
where that would be like,
so easily the butt of like 3/4 of the gags, and it's not it at all.
Yeah.
Like their whole thing is that they are insanely good at being connected to people and people loving them.
Yeah. I loved that in the pool episode, like the one gag that we did have was Tadano being like, which bathroom are you using?
Yeah.
And then being like, who's to say? And then like, and then you find out that there was a unisex bathroom and they're like, I'll be in here. And then for like the first half of the pool episode, they're in shorts and like a hoodie. And then halfway through the chapter, they're in like a bathing suit top and bottom. And you're like, okay. It's like,
there was even the thing where they came out and the guys in the ninja were like, they like rated them too. It wasn't a like, oh man, we can't rate them, like, ugh, weird transphobic thing. They were just like, all right, we appreciate this beauty.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. They're just so, I love the dynamic between them and Komi. And then as it develops, because it's not just a gag constantly, the gags are developing as the character relationships develop. And so they're slowly able to communicate in little ways with Komi, where they're like, all right, I think I have it figured out that you want to do this, or that this is how you're feeling. Okay, like when Komi got hurt and they're like, oh, we know that you're gonna feel bad. Like, let's keep playing so that you don't feel like you ruined everything. So they're able to pick up on it too eventually.
Yeah, I also, to that point, I also like that when we first found out that they get really unsettled making eye contact with Komi. And that wasn't a thing that was thrown away after join like the friend list, right? It's still in future chapters when they would make eye contact. Jimmy would be like, I
I'll
feel
just
weird.
stare past you.
Yeah. I was looking at, oh, my camera. Oh my. What happened? There we go.
There we go.
I was looking at, because I screenshotted some stuff from the pool chapter. And the one that I just found was the one where they go down the slide together. And
yes,
Komi's hair is just in Tadano's face. And it says at the end, Tadano-kun awakened a new fetish. I was like,
what?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Wait, did you miss that one?
I read the Viz translation.
Oh, the one I found.
And the Viz translation, he's literally just like, it's something like Tadano decided he was okay with it.
Oh no, the one I read.
Very different.
Oops. But yeah, so it was like awakened a new thing. Just the hair and the face. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. It's better if like
funny.
It says he's okay with it. The fetish thing.
That's weird.
I really want to know. It made him weird. Yeah. Whereas he had not to fetish shame. Listen, if you are
not to fetish shame.
To wet hair in your face, like that's fine. I was just like, it didn't seem like Tadano-kun, who he had been previously.
Right.
Wow, but he's so sweet. I do like that, like, even as he develops his feelings for her, that he isn't what was I gonna say? He isn't getting weird, like, not weird. He's not extra anxious as he's talking to her. He's still able to like communicate and talk to her. And so even though he's getting more shy and developing those feelings that when you get with a crush where you're just like, I'm so just love being next to you that I don't know how to use words anymore. He's still able to understand and like talk to her so she's not feeling extra anxious either.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's going to be important in this manga, and people have continued to love it, so I assume that they avoid this, but like we've talked before about manga that we've read where we're like, this is so infuriating because if they would just have a goddamn conversation, we would avoid all this drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this entire manga is about a person who has trouble communicating with people, and I think if they lean into those tropes that already exist in manga a lot, it will double down on it in a really frustrating way. So I'm also very glad that at least for now their friendship is the forefront, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the connection that they have and the friendship that they have is the primary. And what we see going on inside of them, like, shifts over time, but, like, the sincerity of their relationship has continued to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
They're just all of them. They're so cute.
Yeah.
That's like the
they're
tagline.
very cute.
So fucking cute.
It's true, because you're right. Tadano could be such a like boring character, and he's not. He just comes across so like such a good friend. Like, he's just so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
He's so normal, which is so funny when we when they introduced the Chuni girl for PE.
Oh my god, that section was so good.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, it was so funny that we got to see, because Tadano's whole thing was that he understood that girl too, because he went through a phase as well.
A phase?
Yeah. And so it was so funny getting to see that he was like trying to be like a gang member type person, and then it just not failing. Oh my god, his confession to his crush though.
Oh my god, is
Oh
so
my
good. And that they had established at the beginning of the manga that like he had done this big like love confession with Najimi. And so seeing the like backstory to that actually happening was him like going through a weird like thug phase. Is so
Yeah.
good.
Oh, Tadano, so funny.
Tadano.
Should we talk about art?
Sure.
They draw Komi's face when she's like anxious and excited and just adorable. So good. Literally every single time it shows up, I'm like, how is this so cute? How is this perfect? How is it displaying all these different emotions when it's like the same face? I don't understand.
I love it.
Yeah, I like that the style also doesn't get super wonky when they switch between like regular style to like the chibi versions, because I know certain artists have big issues with that, and so that they get out of like they get super wonky when they shift styles. So I'm really glad that wasn't the case with this one, or at least so far it hasn't. They're just so cute.
Yeah. I think it helps that like the normal style is already soft. So it's just kind of pushed a little softer and then pulled back again. So you're right. It all looks I don't know if in universe is the right way to put it, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel jarring.
Mm.
Going back and forth. I agree with that. The art is so, it's very clean. And even when they have like a bunch of backgrounds or a bunch of characters, that's something I noticed. There are a lot of backgrounds which help establish the setting of where they are. Whether it's like, sorry, I have like a burp stuck right here and I'm trying to get it out, but it's just like interrupting me while I'm talking. It's not coming out. No. It'll be here soon. The backgrounds help establish where they are. And so even in like the school or the library, I just noticed they're so detailed and it doesn't take away or feel cluttered at all.
Yeah.
And the mangaka knows when to have the backgrounds white too. So it's like certain times where there's nothing in the background, it works. When there is stuff in the background, it works great too. So I really like the art style. I really enjoy it. The fact that the characters are their designs are so different and varied too. I really appreciated. I love that.
The only ones that I got confused about were Najimi and Yandere Girl. Sometimes I was like,
oh, confuse them.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see that.
Which blonde is that?
Yeah. There was one time where Yandere Girl was the main one I had trouble with. When she showed up for the pool chapter, I did not know who she was for a brief second until she acted like Yandere. But I was like, who is that? Oh, it's okay. I know who it is now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I loved like the character. Like Najimi's character design, I felt fit them so well too.
Yes.
And Komi's was great because when she was viewed as the serious goddess, like you could see how people were viewing her. And then when she was Komi, the Komi that we know, like it didn't feel like completely different characters. Like she still had that same design. It didn't feel like they just like, she's a totally different, looks completely different actually.
Right.
She's just so cute.
Yeah.
She's so pretty and so cute.
And anxious.
Poor
Sweet
thing.
baby. What do you think about Tadano's character design? I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
Cute.
He comes across painfully normal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, again, because everybody else has such a like obvious design for the most part, he still stands out. Like you always know who he is. There's no other characters that look like him.
someone in chat was like, why does he have a flower on his head though? I'm like, just a cute little flower. Little Tadano.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his stuff. I like all the character designs. They're all so pure and sweet, except for Library. Okay, not all of them.
Yeah.
But the best ones, the important ones so far. Ninja guy. I don't know why he's there, but he's got a ninja.
Oh my god, yeah, he's just like in full ninja getup.
Yeah, like when they're
like, what?
when they're doing the underwater holding their breath, like he has the like bamboo shoot that sticks out. It's like, where are you? Why are you here? Other than the fact that you love Komi. Is there anything else? Potcakes in chat asked, did they discuss if the manga has any good points about actual communication?
Oh, like if they explore ways that help her with her communication.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the message is like putting yourself out there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of it winds up being like with the tissue section, right? We learned something important about Komi's character there, I think, because despite feeling so much anxiety about just trying to give people tissues, the one time that she finally does it is when she can tell someone really needs a tissue, right? Like she's able to overcome that part of herself because she's like, I think this person really needs a tissue, right? Yeah, I think a lot of it winds up being her having lived her life up to this point, not connecting with anybody. And so a lot of the story, at least up to where we read, is her trying to put herself in situations where she tries something, even if it's as simple as like, I'm going to by myself go to this person who has already said they want to be my friend and I'm going to ask for their phone number, right? And even that winds up being like kind of like it gets all like messy and weird, but in the end she does it, you know. So I think the message winds up being most of the time like, if you put yourself out there, it might not go perfectly, but at least you did it. And it will have helped you move forward, hopefully, to either try it again or do something new. Yeah. And also obviously that like, as a person without a lot of anxiety, it's important for us to also like try to make connections with people who are struggling, right? To like be aware when somebody is trying to connect and is having trouble. So I think it has good messages for both sides.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that.
That's how I felt.
100%. No, you did so good. The way that they show support from Friend's side, as well as giving Komi, helping her be like, all right, I want to take that step. Like, I know it's not going to all like happen perfectly right away, but she keeps trying. She's like, all right, this is something I want, and so I'm going to keep trying, but it is hard. Like, she's still agonized. Her anxiety doesn't go away. It doesn't go away just because she starts doing new things. And that's the thing that I think a lot of times people expect is like, all right, as soon as I tackle one part of this, it's completely handled. It's all the way, like I can handle it perfectly. And that's the thing with like, not just anxiety, but like other mental illnesses too, where you're just like, just because I make progress doesn't mean it's completely over it. Like I'm over it. Like I'm done with it. It is like a constant daily thing that you're working through, and you're working on how to handle it and figure out ways that you can step outside of if you're being triggered, or understanding where you are in situations and how to work with them, and how to, on the other side, having people understand what to look for in you so that they can help you as well. And so I think it does a really good job in like a lighthearted way and very simplistic terms, teaching people how to do both sides of it and giving an understanding to both sides about, oh, it's not just going to go away right away. It is something that you work through for your whole life, basically. It isn't something that's just like, oh, okay, it's gone.
Yeah, we're 3 volumes in, and it's still like such an exciting thing if Komi says a word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's still just like, oh, she said a word. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of her. Also, I just recalled, that meme that's like, once I get up off this couch and start exercising, it's over for you bitches.
Yeah.
I just
Oh my god.
I just thought of that meme in relation to Komi, like, once I make one friend, it's over for you bitches. That's just not how it works,
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
over for you all.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Sweet.
Would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, should we do final
Yeah.
thoughts and ratings? My headphones are going out now too, so like I don't know what's happening.
No.
What is going on with you?
So if it looks like I stopped responding, it's because I'm only nodding like I understood what you said.
Guy, you're like, yes, good point. Yes, that
Yes,
sounds like a
Dodger.
good score.
Yes, Dodger.
I love it.
Moeka. Very good.
Actually, talking about Komi saying like 1 or 2 words, it's really interesting how over the phone it's a lot easier for her to say stuff once she
Yes.
like makes the step to like get over the anxiety of making the call. And it's also super hilarious that the phone model she bought is the type where you just have to bring it to your ear and then it'll automatically call that person for you.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh.
She like panics so hard. I was like,
Yeah.
honey, no. And I love that she
It's
has a flip
okay.
phone, and everyone's like, you got a flip phone? Okay. Like, it's your first phone. It's fine.
There was a moment where I was like, wait, what year is this taking place in?
Same.
Mhm.
I also had that thought, like, oh, I know this was written recently. Is this taking place at No, it's she just bought a
Nope.
flip phone. Cute.
Yeah.
So cute. Such a sweetie.
Yeah, I don't know what score to give this, because I think it was really, really cute, and I'm really excited to read more. But at the same time, for some reason, it doesn't feel right to give it a 9. I think I'm going to give it an 8.5. I'm really curious because everybody's like, oh, it just continues to get sweeter. It's continues to get better. And yet I think in the course of this manga gonna meet 100 friends, right? So there's gonna be a lot of new people that we're going to meet over time. And I'm kind of hoping that the characters that we got at the beginning were on the more extreme side, and that we're gonna get some more like kind of, I don't want to overuse the word wholesome, but like more like real connections, instead of just like, oh, this person agreed to be my friend, so they're going on my friend list, right? I want to see Komi like really connect with more than just Tadano.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed what we've read so far. It is like such a fast read. And I think there were a lot of things that could have been jokes that I would have hated that were not ever a joke. And jokes like visual and sight gag jokes that really worked for me. So I was pleasantly surprised by the comedy. I think the art is great. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.5. I'm excited to read more of it.
I give it an 8. I try not to do halves because then I start overthinking stuff too much.
8.23.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's a solid, very solid read. I really love all the characters. I love the progress that we've made in the like first 3 volumes. I'm really interested in seeing like where we go from here. Cause yeah, 100 like different types of characters specifically for like manga or anime feels it it feels like a crazy amount because usually there's only such limited like tropes that you see, and so I'm really interested in seeing like how far they like go with that or how far they like veer away from it at a certain point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really interested in that. I hope we get to see more of her brother.
Me too.
I
What kind
I
of
want to
weirdo is he? I
know.
gotta know.
Yeah,
I
what
want to
kind of what
know.
kind of weirdo is he? Is he a himbo? Just asking
I'm
for a
always like, I'm
friend.
ready. I need one.
Um,
That's why you won't give it a 0.5s because it didn't have any
Yeah.
himbos.
I don't
More
know. I just
himbos.
don't
Where are the
know.
himbos at in this manga?
Oh my god, yeah. So yeah, hey, I love all the characters. I'm super excited to see where we go from here.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah, I think, you know what? 8.25. Slammed in the middle of it.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I agree. All the reasons that you guys love it, all the reasons that you guys, all the critiques you have. It's so fun and wholesome. I love that it is a comedy manga that I didn't get tired of. I didn't really talk about this earlier, but when a lot of times we read comedy manga, especially when we read 20 to 30 chapters in a row, it can get so repetitive just over and over because some comedy manga are meant to be read like a handful of chapters every week or something like that.
Mm.
And so this one did not feel like that at all. I loved most of the characters. Thing that bring me down are like Yandere and Library Girl just felt so bizarre. But
Yeah.
I'm very excited to keep reading it. Like, I feel like I could bust this out and get through it and be totally happy reading it in one sitting. So I love this series, 8.25. I'm very excited to check out more, and I recommend it, especially from the side of displaying both ideas for helping people with anxiety and for people learning how to work with their anxiety. And so I think it's very wholesome in that way and does a very good job. I love it. So I think we all recommend it.
Yeah, for sure.
Recommend
Yeah.
Komi Can't Communicate if it's something you guys would like to go check on. It is on Viz Media, as well as manga.
It's not. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's not one of the ones that you can read for free, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I did have to buy it in the app, but they let you do that if you're interested in supporting it. If you read a little bit and you're like, oh, this is good, I'd like
I'm
to just
into
buy
it.
it. You can get it on the app. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go around and shout out our stuff super fast. I'm Erin of Happily Erin. I have a YouTube channel. All the MangaPods are hosted there. It's basically just the MangaPod channel right now. Then I also have a Twitter and an Instagram. I'm currently working on a book and posting updates on there, as well as pictures of my cute babes and stuff about Thai dramas because I'm really into those and probably will be for life.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Dodger. You can find me at Dex Bonus on pretty much everything. I stream almost every day, and I do gaming stuff and coffee stuff and all kinds of shit. So come hang out.
Hello, I'm Moeka. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias at MegaMoeka. I also stream. Right now I've been going really heavy on Sinnoh Alice, which just got released in English, and globally. I'm super excited. I love the PvP in that game. So if you ever want to check me out while I'm like grinding or you have any questions about the game, feel free to come by and ask me. I usually yeah, it's essentially the streams are my way to like give back to the community because I know that game is not super beginner friendly. And like the community boards that are out there for the game are like they're hardened veterans, and so they don't have time for the babies, and they're just like, you didn't check the pin, you're getting banned, get the fuck out of here, you noob.
Oh no.
So yeah, feel free to check me out when I stream those if you want a more comfy environment.
Love it. We also have a fourth co-host. His name is Lou. He was not able to be here this week because he's not feeling too good. So you go and you should, you know what? You go. You go and you send him some love from us.
Yes.
Give him hearts and all sorts of funny memes because we love him. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys need to bring up, say, talk about?
I don't think so.
No? I think we're good. Thank
You're all
you.
great. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate that too, though you're probably listening no matter where you're at.
That's true. You're
to
listening
us.
regardless, aren't
Yeah, unless you're just some person who likes to just mute and sit there.
you? I get that's
Listen,
fair.
not judging.
Thank you
guys.
for the view.
Thank you all so much for watching and hanging out. Bye.
Bye.